Before Genesis, before Moses, before the Bible was written, there was Sumer, an ancient civilization buried beneath the sands of Mesopotamia. A people who claimed the gods came from the heavens, divided the earth, and created humanity for a purpose. But here's where things get interesting. In the Sumerian creation story, creation itself begins with both masculine and feminine forces. Heaven was masculine, earth was feminine. Fresh water was masculine, salt water was feminine. Male and female energies were not enemies, they were cosmic partners. So the question becomes, was God originally understood as both masculine and feminine? And if these stories predate much of recorded religion, why do they sound so familiar to later myths? Today we dive into one of the oldest creation stories humanity has ever discovered. According to Sumerian mythology, in the beginning there was no humanity, no kingdoms, no civilization, only cosmic waters. The masculine force known as Apsu represented fresh water. The feminine force known as Tiamat represented salt water. Their union created existence itself. Think about that for a moment. The oldest known creation tradition did not start with a single isolated masculine creator. Creation began through union, through balance, through opposing energies combining together. Then came An, the sky god, and Ki, the earth goddess. Heaven and earth were once joined as one cosmic body, but eventually they were separated, creating space for life to emerge. This concept appears repeatedly throughout ancient mythology. Separation creates existence. Light separates from darkness. Heaven separated from earth. Order separated from chaos. Even in Genesis, God separates the waters above from the waters below. Coincidence? Or shared ancient memory? From these primordial beings, the gods were born. Enlil, Enki, Ninhursag, powerful entities associated with wisdom, storms, fertility, and creation. The Sumerians believed these gods shaped civilization itself. They taught humanity agriculture, writing, architecture, law. Some researchers believe this is where later stories about gods descending from heaven originated. Ancient astronaut theorists take this even further. They argue the Sumerian gods were not symbolic beings, but advanced entities mistaken for gods. Beings who possessed technology so advanced ancient humans interpreted it as divine power. Whether you believe that or not, one thing is undeniable. Sumer deeply influenced the ancient world. Noah's Ark sounds like their flood story. Genesis resembles their creation story. It's almost as if fragments of Sumer survived through every civilization that followed. According to some Sumerian accounts, humanity was created to serve the gods. The gods were tired. They no longer wanted to perform labor themselves. So humans were formed from clay, mixed with divine essence. Sounds familiar? Clay appears again and again in creation myths around the world. In Genesis, God forms Adam from dust. In Greek mythology, Prometheus forms man from clay. In the Hopi traditions, humanity emerges from the earth. Across cultures, mankind is connected to the ground itself, earth becoming conscious. The Sumerians believed humanity existed to maintain order, build civilizations, and honor the gods. But here's the deeper question. Were these myths symbolic explanations for civilization? Or were ancient people recording events they truly believed happened? This brings us back to the central question of this entire series. Was God originally viewed as masculine, feminine, or both? In the Sumerian worldview, creation required balance. Masculine sky, feminine earth. Masculine fresh water, feminine ocean. The universe itself operated through duality, not division, partnership. Even many modern spiritual traditions still reflect this idea, yin and yang, divine masculine and divine feminine, logic and intuition, structure and creation. Some scholars argue ancient religions gradually shifted toward more patriarchal systems over time, emphasizing male creator figures while reducing feminine divine roles. Yet traces of feminine remain everywhere. Isis in Egypt, Gaia in Greece, Sophia in mysticism. the nurturing aspect of creation itself. Maybe ancient civilizations understood something modern society forgot. Creation may require both energies, not necessarily male and female in a human sense, but complementary forces working together. Now here's where the conversation becomes controversial. The Sumerian civilization existed thousands of years before many biblical texts were compiled. So some researchers ask, did later religions inherit pieces of earlier myths? Consider this. In Genesis 1:26, God says, "Let us make man in our image." Many Christians interpret this as the Father speaking to the Son and the Holy Spirit. Others believe it refers to a divine council, and some alternative theorists argue it reflects ancient polytheistic traditions that evolved into monotheism over time. The similarities between Sumerian texts and later Abrahamic traditions continue to fuel debate today. Flood myths, divine judgment, creation from clay, heavenly beings descending to earth. Are these independent stories or echoes of one ancient source civilization? The Sumerian creation story is more than mythology. It is a window into how one of humanity's oldest civilizations understood existence itself. A universe born through balance, through union, through opposing forces working together. Maybe the ancient world wasn't asking whether God was masculine or feminine. Maybe they believed creation required both. And maybe that's why these stories continue to survive thousands of years later. Because beneath the symbolism, the gods and the myths, they are really stories about us, where we came from, why we exist, and what forces gave consciousness to humanity. But now I want to hear from you. Do you believe the Sumerian gods were symbolic, ancient rulers, extraterrestrial beings, or echoes of spiritual truth humanity has forgotten? And after hearing this story, do you think God is masculine, feminine, or something beyond human understanding entirely? Comment below. Until next time, these are my thoughts. Right or wrong, this is how I feel at this time. Like, share, and subscribe.